Hey guys, welcome back to What's New Podcast, episode number 4, here with Zachary and Logan. But today is a little different. It's just Zachary here as a host. Logan has been very busy recently with school and family stuff, so while he is taking a break, I will be doing episodes by myself with our special guest. Today we have Nathan,
Hey, what's up?
and we also have Brody.
What's going on?
And also, I'm going to introduce something new. During our episodes, we try to stay non controversial. And when I am doing episodes by myself without Logan, that is when I will bring people on who want to talk about controversial stuff. So episodes with me, single hosting, just by myself, we that's when we'll bring up the controversial stuff. And then when Logan and I are both hosting, we'll talk about our normal stuff, going back to our normal episodes. So today our topics are Biden's first 100 days, COVID-19, illegal immigration, and opportunities, and then racial prejudice. All come up. These were all. Um, Dang, what's the word?
Suggested.
Yeah, suggested by Nate.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I will start leaving links in the comments down below every single video to the Google Classroom that we have set up for this podcast. Whenever you want to have a chance of joining the podcast, go to the link, join the classroom, fill out the form that is the information form. So we get your email, we get your information, topics you want to talk about, and then also go look at the PowerPoint. They'll let you know what to and what not to do during an episode, and that's really all you have to do. And we'll go ahead and get back to you with those, and that's how you can get to be a part of one of our episodes. But we're going to go and get into this, starting off with Biden's first 100 days. So I'm going to let Nate go ahead and start, and we can all give our input on this.
All right, here we go. Well, let's start off with some of his accomplishments. Jobs have been created, but at a much lower rate than he said. Around what 200 million COVID vaccines have been created, which is double what the projections were. Then we get into the bad part is the spending. He's planning to spend around $10 trillion in the first 4 months. I think that's a terrible thing that increases inflation, which you can see in gas prices. He claimed that there would be 1 million jobs at the end of April. There was only 260,000. People are bloating. Hold up.
Okay, so
Hold on one second.
with my input on that, I'd say about the money. I think that's the biggest issue right now is his spending.
Mm-hmm.
We have had presidents in the past to spend not as much. We've had presidents, I'm sure, spend almost as much, but I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. I think he has spent the most out of any president in his first 100 days.
Oh
But
yeah,
don't.
100%. I think that the pandemic as a whole is in its near end. Um, the vaccine has been created, which means that the pandemic is near end. But the Democrats are just trying to push the pandemic to push their spending, which I just think is a terrible thing.
Yeah, I half agree on that, half not. It depends on who you're speaking out when you're talking about the Democrats, because we got everybody that's in the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because
I'm
the.
talking about like AOC, Bernie
Oh
Sanders,
yeah, definitely
Elizabeth
them.
Warren
Those
pushing
people.
Biden to spend. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
talking about
definitely.
every Democrat because there's Democrats who are criticizing Biden.
Yeah. So on that topic, we just got to be careful about specifically what we mean when we say Democrat. So if you hear us using the word Democrat like that during this episode, we're most likely referring to the radical leftist side of that.
Um,
Do you have any
I
input? Okay.
personally have no fucking clue what the difference between liberal and democratic parties are. Um, but
when people say liberal, they really mean Democrat.
oh,
I'll let
that's
Nate. I'll let Nate run you through the political parties and views real quick, Brody.
All right, so let's start with the boring people. We have the Libertarians. All right, so
mhm.
they're kind of a mixture between liberal and conservative. Conservative means yes.
That was unfortunate.
Hold on one second.
Excuse interruption.
I'll text my mom to not interrupt me. While that's happening, I personally do not trust a president that can't walk up the
All right,
stairs
I'm back.
properly.
I
Yeah, me
So,
neither.
completely 100% agree with that. I
One
die watching that video, and I watched it on a repeat, and it was so bad. But
I saw those memes like Trump hitting a golf ball at him, and then he's falling, dude. It was hilarious.
And
Everyone was grilling him.
he saluted afterwards.
I know. He shit his pants. He went in there. He was holding his ass so he could take a dump.
It
It
was a little saddening and hilarious at the same time. And by saddening, I mean...
And just so you know, anyone watching this, I want Biden to succeed, but he's not going to. Let's be real.
Yeah.
All right. So, back to the party system. So, conservative means you want smaller government, and you want, you're pro-life, you're pro-gun. I don't really know much about the parties. It's really just you're focused more on the economy than anything.
Okay, that's basically a good explanation there. I'll see if I can kind of get into the parties specifically, like Democrat and what's the other one? I'm having a brain fart.
Green?
What?
The Socialist Party?
No, the Democrat and Republican. Republican, that's the word. Sorry, I had a brain fart real quick. So a little bit of explanation on those. So Democrat, you'll find more like Joe Biden. He's a Democrat. You hear him referred to as a lot of things. Democrat, red, right wing, I believe. No, left wing. And then when you have Republican, you have. Oh no! Wait. Is Republican red or blue?
Yes. Republican is red.
Okay, Democrat, you'll hear them get called blue and left wing. Republican is red, you'll hear them get called right wing. But I mean, I don't really know how to go in depth on what each exactly are.
Well, a really, really simple breakdown is the left wants to expand government and the right wants to minimalize it.
Okay, that's a fair explanation there. Let's see. How many executive orders did he put in place in his first 100 days?
In his first 100 days? Let's look. I don't have that statistic.
Yeah. Something I thought was kind of dumb. Biden, I think, put a law that you can't have, the big guns like ARs and shit anymore. Listen, I can understand that, but at the same time, it's dumb because, you get those ads of the, two Texas guys that, saved, I think it was a church meeting or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard about that.
Yeah, and, he's saying, oh, you can't have a gun on you in public or some shit like that. It's smart on paper, but dumb when if you look at the shooting statistics, 97% of shootings are made by handguns. By the Democratic logic, you should be banning handguns. I'm not calling for one. I'm just saying, if you're going to use your logic on banning weapons, ban handguns. Yeah.
But guns don't kill people. People kill people. If you leave a gun on a table pointed at someone, it's not going to kill them. If you give it to a insane human, it will. So I'm for background checks. I don't think you should be able to walk out with a gun in 15 minutes. But stop attacking our Second Amendment right.
Okay, yeah. So statistics showing Biden signed 42 executive orders in his first 100 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, let's see. Let's read through what they were. So the latest one signed was on March 27th. It was a topic of labor. It was a labor order.
Increasing the minimum wage for federal contractors. I think that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. $15 an hour.
All right, yeah. Let's talk about the minimum wage. They're trying to increase the minimum wage to get it to $15 over the next couple of years, the federal minimum wage, and I think that's stupid because here's the thing. The minimum wage in New York is $15. I think that's fine because cost of living there is super high.
Yes.
But when you look at places like Montana, you don't need $15 minimum wage. $15 minimum wage can get you rent in Montana.
The way I view the raising of minimum wage is we have what we have here. So in Georgia, where we are located, our minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and we have fair prices. I believe you get a jug of milk at Walmart for like what, $3 or $4?
$3.
Yeah, $3 or $4.
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as you raise national minimum wage to $15 an hour, your price of milk is going to become like $10. And to some people that makes no sense, but here's what happens. So employers or employees, as I meant, make more money now. And so producers and people on the side of creating products and selling those raise the price because they see an opportunity to make even more money now that people are getting more money. So they're like, okay, well, they'll have more money so they can still buy this even if we raise the price. So by the logic, we get more money, so will they. They'll raise the price of milk. They don't have to because it's still going to cost the same to produce, but they want to because they're money hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my main issue here is people are just like, if we raise the minimum wage, our taxes are probably going to get raised because we're going to be taxed
100%.
on that minimum wage. We're going to be taxed on all that money. We're going to have our products that we're normally used to, like a milk jug, $3, now raise up to maybe $7 or $10, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, hold on. Can I stop you there? Let's talk about taxes for 1 second. So you guys have heard Joe Biden say, we're not going to raise taxes on people making less than $400,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the problem with that. He's going to raise taxes on 82% of Americans because he's trying to abolish the Trump tax cuts. And if you abolish tax cuts, you are effectively raising taxes on people.
Bingo.
I'm not kept up to the news like in the slightest. That is fucking dumb. Like,
I'm not going to raise taxes on anyone making less than $400K a year to keep the Trump tax cuts. Just because it has the name Trump in it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Like,
you can't have someone in office for 42 years and then
47.
blame the guy who's been in office for 4 years on all the issues.
Yeah, let's speak about that again. Joe Biden has been pushing this agenda, which he had 8 years to talk with Obama about. Like, what were you doing then?
If Biden knows how to fix America, why didn't he tell Obama?
Exactly, and that's why Obama was a horrible president. If you even look back at the room footage, and I'm getting off topic. Let's shut up about that.
Back to these executive orders. We have a national security order imposes sanctions on diplomatic expulsions on Russia in response to the country's interference with the 2020 election. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we should definitely be tight on Russia, but I personally believe that there is no interference in the 2020 election. I have not really read on that, but
Zachary, do you know? Because I, again, not kept up with the news.
Know what?
Like the fucking Russia. What you just said.
To be honest, I don't watch news as much as I should for someone who runs a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get back into watching this stuff. I hate watching it, but it's also interesting at the same time.
Well, I think we should definitely be tighter on foreign policy.
Oh, definitely.
There's Joe Biden's not being tight on China, even though there's literal genocide going on there. They're killing their own people.
Yeah.
He's been insulting Kim Jong-un, which is a horrible thing to do.
Terrible.
Trump had tight relations with Kim Jong-un to try to help the North Korean people and try to stop nuclear power attacks. But, Joe Biden got in office and fuck Kim Jong-un. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the North Korean missile crisis real quick because people say it's ended, but I'm not too sure it has because, North Korea is North Korea. North Korea has, I believe, 300 last time I checked nuclear missiles, which is a big number. Like 300 nuclear missiles, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. And they've threatened multiple countries, including the U.S., such as last year on Christmas 2019, Kim Jong-un did threaten, if Trump didn't follow through on his promise, to send some over to America on Christmas Day, which was a little bit of a scare. But compared to
I
the
didn't even know
United
about
States,
that.
we have 6,800 ICBMs that we know of. An ICBM
And
is a intercontinental.
they're updated.
Yeah, ICBMs are intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are nuclear missiles. We have over 6,500 of those that we know of, because the U.S. government's probably not going to tell us every small little number like that in detail. But just for those of you guys that are out there scared of North Korea blowing us up, trust me, it's not going to happen anytime soon. They're too scared. They talk big game, but you don't want to mess with a country that has that big of
Zach,
a arsenal.
I told you this later. I find it funny when I see decorated North Korean vets. Like, what'd you guys do, man? Drill team.
America has too many allies to go to war with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. There was a video explaining how America could literally face the rest of the world and probably still win.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's called the infographic show.
Since we have 4 topics, we keep this down to a quarter of the episode each. So we've done our first quarter of the episode. So we're going to switch on to our next topic of COVID-19. So just talk about whatever.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh my god, dude!
Oh.
As someone who's had it, because I had it in January.
It's horrible. All right, next segment.
Okay, but no, I had it in January, right after our school had our Christmas break. I was stuck home for another 2 weeks. I didn't have it as bad as the rest of my family did. Everybody in my house got it except for my sister Becca. But I didn't have it as bad. I had symptoms for 2 days, and then I was fine the rest of those 2 weeks. But my mom,
did you get a rapid test?
no.
Oh, thank God.
Like that, my friend, his mom has gone through, like, I think stage 4 cancer, so her immune system is really, really low.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
COVID, she would have died. So my friend, for over 14 months, has been locked up in his house, not being able
God.
to see anybody. Like,
Jeez.
just imagining that. The only times that he was able to go out was for the dentist, for doctors, like shit like that.
God.
No.
Does he have a console or anything?
Oh yeah, no. He like talked to us every day, but like there was a good like 2 months that he was being a bit of a bitch and not joining anything. Also liking YouTubers. Don't even. No. If you don't know what a VTuber is, you are blessed.
A what?
VTuber.
I guess I'm a
VTuber.
bust.
Yeah, I guess I'm blessed as well. But I'm about to not be blessed because I'm searching that up on Google.
All right, let's
No.
talk about.
No.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
No, you're gonna see Guragar. No.
Oh Lord.
Our
Yeah, I
next
was
segment,
blessed,
2
but
girls,
now
no.
I'm very sad.
Yeah.
All right, our next segment: 2 girls, 1 cup. No.
No. Talk about innocent.
All right. So let's get back to the topic. COVID-19. What do you guys, or how do you guys feel that Trump handled it?
I think to be honest, he handled it actually very well. That he did some stuff wrong, he did some stuff right. But compared to our commander in chief right now, no, he definitely did amazing.
Yeah. Well, the way all the Democratic senators were like, you knew in early February, and you knew that it was airborne. No one knew it was airborne. Dr. Fauci in February said, don't wear masks because it's not airborne. The CDC in September posted an article saying there might be airborne aspects.
No one knew.
I think the Trump rhetoric was bad, like how he, it's going to be over by Easter. I think that part was bad, but the way he handled it was good. He established the task force in late January.
I would if Australia didn't get done, like, just were completely free months before us. Like, just now, it's getting kind of back to normal. There's still regulations, because, it's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Australia, like, I think it was late December? No, definitely not. I think it was mid-January that, like, they started to go completely back to normal. Like, it was crazy. But then here's us doing fucking riots outside, thinking, oh, the COVID virus is made up. They just want us to be in our house. Like those kinds of people. Sorry if you're one of those, if you're watching, but it's dumb. I understand that you're trying to, like, I understand that you're believing what you believe in and showing that you do.
There's a difference between making a statement and breaking into buildings and setting stuff on fire.
Well, the Australia thing, even the Democratic senators and lawmakers said that he shut it down too early, and then right after the big outbreak, they said he should have done it sooner. And it's stupid. Whatever Trump would have done, they would have criticized him for it.
Like, they did what? Try to impeach him like 3 times?
They impeached him twice, and the first time, I think the first time it was related to Joe Biden, and I think he did bad on that thing, abusing the government and abusing his power. I think he did bad on that, but he did deserve to get impeached. The second time, the incitement of violence. All right,
for the post about the Capitol riots, he literally told people to go home.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
On Twitter.
And here's the thing. Let's look up the definition of incitement.
My guy told people to stop rioting on Twitter.
And the post was blocked, and everyone exploded. Oh, you're inciting them to keep doing it. How?
He should have gone up there and instead of being on Twitter.
All right, so the definition of incitement of violence means criminal incitement refers to conduct, words, or other means that urge or naturally lead others to riot, violence, or insurrection. Trump did not say, go attack the Capitol building. No. That would have been incitement of violence. He said, go protest. I definitely think that he shouldn't have told them to go protest, but that's not incitement of violence. There was thousands of peaceful protesters, but then you got Proud Boys breaking in. You got the extreme right breaking in,
and then you got the people that just want to fucking travel around and, like, you know, see what the Capitol looks like.
And the big thing about that is people are like,
that's not really an argument,
at these Black Lives Matter protests, these people are getting shot with rubber rounds, and no one got hurt at the Capitol riots. Well, excuse my facts real quick, but if I do recall correctly, on live video, I watched a white girl get shot in the neck by Capitol Hill police.
Yeah,
and she died.
Yeah, exactly. But she kind of, the guy said, "Get back, don't come through," and she still went through. But
are you talking about the Air Force lady?
No,
I have no clue. Yeah, but back to COVID. I still think that the Trump rhetoric was terrible, but his response was really good. The unemployment rate went up to about 14%, and then in quarter 2 to quarter 3 there was a 33% GDP increase, which is the largest in history from quarter to quarter. Opening up the country in quarter 3 was probably the best thing he could have done, because unemployment went back down to around 6%, which is what it's at now. But anxiety, depression, and suicide are extremely high among teens and young adults. I just think the Biden administration has done little to nothing. His COVID relief package, 9% of the bill was on COVID. The rest was on illegal immigration, and page 97 of it. It gave health care subsidies to illegal immigrants. When we have homeless people who are out of health care, we have millions out of health care, and we're giving it to people who shouldn't even be in there in the first place.
Exactly.
I think it's stupid.
Next thing under COVID-19 that I've been asked a lot about and heard a lot about all over social media is that quarantine is unconstitutional. Oh, the government can't tell me what to do. They can't tell me to stay inside my house for...
That's exactly right.
But here's the thing. It is constitutional. And I do agree with it, because if it means keeping people safe and minimizing deaths, then absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. But
so
quarantine
it's
also
under
has
the
negative
5th
effects
and the 14th Amendments, right, of due process and equal protection and public health. The government does have the right to sit there and say, no, you have to stay in your house or we can arrest you.
That would be kind of.
That would suck.
Yeah, that
I know
would
it would suck, but it is legal.
It's legal to do that. I didn't know that. How was your guys' experience through the first parts of the pandemic?
So me and my sister Becca, she came back home from Atlanta, and lived in our spare bedroom for a few months, and for about 2 months straight, nonstop, every night we would do a huge jigsaw puzzle. I hate puzzles now, by the way, and binge watch The
Don't
Walking
blame you.
Dead.
I binge watched The Office. That was the first time I watched The Office.
I
I have Office stickers on my airsoft gun.
rewatching the same exact show.
Right, dude? Trailer Park Boys.
You guys heard of
I watch
NCIS,
it every
that
night.
show with 18 seasons? Yeah, well, I'm watching through all 18 for the 5th time.
I feel bad for you.
It's a really good show, though.
I have not. I'm waiting for more seasons of The Walking Dead to get released on Netflix.
I can't take any more
Probably.
Walking Dead or jigsaw puzzles after the start of quarantine.
I want to see the Rick movies.
Rick and Morty.
No, the movie about Rick Grimes. What happened after the bridge collapse?
I'm gonna be honest. I have watched 2 minutes of The Walking Dead, and that was when I've been on her watching it.
All right, so in the end, spoiler alert. In the end, or it was in season 9. So him and a bunch of saviors is what they called the prisoners of war from the previous war. He had Rick and a bunch of saviors build a bridge to connect the two villages, or the two, I don't know what to call them, settlements. And at the end, a huge horde of walkers or zombies came towards the bridge, and they lit it up with dynamite. And the walkers came early, and Rick was running away from them on the bridge, and there was nothing they could do. So he shot the dynamite, blew himself up, but he didn't. And a helicopter got him, and no one knows what happened to him.
Dang.
And so the Rick movies are going to be about what happened after, and him trying to escape. But the actor for him, what's his name? The actor for Rick.
Keanu. Yeah.
I wish. No, Keanu Reeves is a terrible actor, but I still love him. The actor for Rick said he's not going to reappear on The Walking Dead.
Oh, that sucks.
The only reason I like Keanu Reeves is because of how much he shoots and how good he is at it.
How much he shoots?
Yes.
As in,
I just like Keanu Reeves because he's
okay. Gun.
I love the John Wick movies, but
They are great.
He's a terrible actor. I'm sorry.
At least he loves
He's
puppies.
horrible. It's funny watching him try to act. Have you guys watched? I think it's called Locked Out.
No.
You guys watched that? He was terrible in that. He was like, "You strapped me up. You sucked my cock." I was just like, bro, I can't watch this.
No, like I love when people, like movie producers, take other people. They're like, "Oh, you're famous. You're a famous singer, which means you are going to be an amazing actor." It doesn't work that way. Like Keanu Reeves isn't an actor. He's a professional shooter. He's a competition shooter. He's not an actor.
He was good in the John Wick movies.
He's not good.
Dude, have you guys played Cyberpunk?
No, I have not.
Oh, they let Keanu Reeves voice act.
Yeah.
One of the characters in there. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was something corny.
Jason.
That's what I remember.
No.
Something like I haven't played Cyberpunk. That's all I've heard.
Yeah, he honestly did a pretty good job in Cyberpunk.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'll be honest. He didn't do terrible, but I think that's mostly because
Cyberpunk is still terrible.
Oh yeah, no, it's a terrible game. They released it way too early, but they were kind of forced to because of the Anyways, back on the original topic. What was it? Oh yeah, beginning of
COVID-19. Maybe we shouldn't do as many controversial topics because we can't talk about it for 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
How do we get from COVID-19 to John
Cyberpunk.
Wick or to
John Wick.
to Keanu Reeves and I call him Rihanna Keeves
That's hilarious.
from one Skyrim
Well,
episode.
away
Next
from the
topic.
COVID-19, because that's our second section done. We're gonna go on to, I think, Nate's favorite part after Biden's first 100 days. It's gonna be the illegal immigration and
Yes.
opportunities.
All right, so let's start off with opportunities. People ask me, "What are your views on that?" And I go, "I believe in equal rights, not equal outcome." Back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there was no social safety net. What I mean by that, I mean welfare. I mean free health care. So back in the in that era, people came here and they worked for a better life. They didn't sit back and receive checks from the government. As soon as the welfare state came out, it killed the black community, it killed the Latino community, killed parts of the white community, just because they weren't working. Their kids did not work because they started receiving welfare checks when they were old enough, and it's horrible. Like my family came here and they worked so we could all have better lives. They were poor for the first two generations, so my generation could be better. I think that's how it should work. Into illegal immigration, it's illegal. Do you get the gist? It's illegal.
The name of it, illegal immigration, means they're
That's-
here. Well, guess what? Illegally.
Exactly.
I
And-
am going to make
Okay.
some real quick. I will be back.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So back on it. Let's look at the statistics here because I don't remember them all. It's the crime rate in Texas from illegal immigration. Let's look at the FBI UCR crime reports. All right, so 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, from illegal immigration, assault and battery, and domestic violence,
Oh, geez.
which there's 1,000 cases. Wait, hold up. Am I looking at the right stuff?
For those viewers watching, assault and battery in domestic cases are going to be the most brutal, the most violent, and the worst law enforcement related cases you hear of. So that's why there's a big emphasis on.
I think I was looking at the wrong link.
Okay, but that's why there's a huge emphasis on the
Yeah.
word domestic violence, because that's where everything goes wrong. That's the most sensitive call an officer will go to, just all that stuff. So whenever you hear domestic violence, when we're talking stuff like this, that is a really big deal.
But there was something like 300 homicides, and get you this, these are homicides from people who were not supposed to be here. We're
Yeah.
talking about the people cutting in line who jumped across the border, and that's why I'm for a border wall, because they think border walls are for keeping Mexicans out. It's not what the wall is for. It's to keep sex trafficking in and drugs from pouring in. We are losing $100 to $200 billion to illegal immigrants every year. And people are like, defund the police, and then they'll be like, so we can have more money to spend on the black communities. Remove illegal immigration, we'll have $200 billion in the budget.
Touching on that, defund the police.
Yeah. Let's get to that.
I'll talk about that because that's right up my alley.
The police is gonna do.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. That's what I specialize in. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a law enforcement explorer in the state of Georgia, which means I train with the law enforcement officers. I learn what they learn. I learn about law, constitutional rights. I learn everything I need to know pertaining to that side. So, what defunding the police is exactly is taking money out of a police department's funding and putting it somewhere else, say education. And that sounds like a good thing. We're giving money to education, but in the long run, you are taking money from the people who are protecting the people getting educated.
They've tried to defund the police back in 2008. The time to respond to 911 calls shot up. It took longer to get on the line with law enforcement. Crime rates jumped. It was a disaster.
When you dial 911 and what you hear on the other side is, please wait while we wait for an available dispatcher to connect, that's going to be the scariest thing you ever hear. Because what if someone breaks into your house, they have a gun and you know it, and you're hiding in your room, and you're calling the police so they can come and they can help you, and you call 911, the first thing you hear is, please wait for an available dispatcher. What are you going to sit there and do until, what if it takes 5
I'm
minutes?
gonna call Black Lives Matter.
You might be dead then.
I'm gonna
They
call the
could-
Black Lives Matter hotline. See if they'll come over.
When someone breaks into your house, who's the person you're going to call? Someone hurts you, who are you going to call? Someone
Exactly.
does anything that pertains to anything around that area, who are you going to call? The big funny part of this is people are like, defund the police, abolish the police, put in social workers. We're like, okay, that's a good idea. We can put in social workers.
Social workers aren't gonna respond to domestic calls.
But here's the thing. So in theory, when we do that, the social workers, they'll go and they'll respond to, like Nate said, domestic disturbances. They'll respond to attempted suicides, all this stuff like we want them to. And say this domestic disturbance or this attempted suicide victim has a firearm and they don't want anything to happen, so they shoot the social worker. Well, eventually the social worker is going to get fed up with being shot at, so they're going to ask for protection. And then they're going to get bulletproof vest. And now they have bulletproof vests, but they're going to continue going. They're going to continue to get shot at. And they're not going to be able to defend themselves. All they can do is hide and be protected. So they're going to get guns to defend themselves. Well, what did we just do? Well, let's see. We defunded and abolished the police, made social workers, gave them bulletproof vests and guns because they were tired of getting hurt and injured on the job. So in the long run, what we just did is we just took the police away and then recreated them from the ground up.
Yeah, so I was talking with someone on Omegle. Yes, I like to go on Omegle and talk about politics. Sue me. So I was talking to someone. They said, "Do you know that prison was based off of slavery and police was based off of slave catching? Do you think in 2021 that police are supposed to catch runaway slaves? Please tell me."
It's just an interesting question there. Like, it's 2021. Slavery has been illegal for well over 100 years.
Yes.
Why would the police be catching runaway slaves if there is no runaway slaves?
And they also like to talk about police brutality. Yes, police brutality is real.
It exists, and we acknowledge that.
If you take away police brutality from the black homicide rate, you reduce it by, guess how much, Zachary?
I don't have statistics.
No, just guess.
50%.
50%? Try less than 1/3 of 1%.
Oh no, you're right. Wait. No, restate what you asked me.
I said try to guess if you remove police brutality from the black
no,
homicide
you're
rate.
right. It's in my project that I'm pulling up my project that I'm writing right now because I have a quote I want to give real quick. Okay, so it's from a poem by a guy named Paul Harvey. It's the poem, or I don't even know if it's a poem. It's just like a long text that he read out. It's called Policeman. And it says, I gotta find this part real quick. Here's the fact is that less than 0.5% of policemen misfit the uniform, and that's a better average than you find among clergymen. Basically saying less than 1/2 of police, or less than 1%, less than 0.5% of police officers are reported as corrupt, and contrary to popular belief, police officers do report each other for doing bad things. So there's just a little statistic for you there, and I'm going to find another one real quick. I did an interview with my school resource officers.
Hey, what's up, Brody?
Sorry that took so long.
Yeah, people like to say, police brutality is a real problem. Yes, it is. 14 people died from police brutality in 2020. 7 of them.
We're talking about brutality.
Yes. 7 of them were assaulting the police officer. So we lost 7 people unfaithfully or unjustified by police. That is a terrible thing. But guess what the homicide rate of black people is committed by other black people. Like the amount of black people who are killing other black people.
It's over 50%.
90%.
That was close.
Of the black homicide rate is committed by other black people.
2% is committed by police, and the rest of that is committed by other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, Trump put in opportunity zones in places like Chicago and New York who are dominated by gangs and poverty. And so guess what giving $100 billion to opportunity zones does? Gets people out of fucking poverty.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found the quote I was looking for, back to police brutality, and I held an interview with my school resource officers, which is the police officers that are at your school, the SROs. This was from one of the officers, Officer Heroic, and my question was, what comes to your mind when you think about police brutality? And his answer was, I quote, "Well, thinking about it, I would take the word police out of it. Any brutality in any profession against something is not good." And I think we're personally, in my profession, and any profession, there are bad apples. That goes without saying anything. We're very fortunate in our county and the school system to have a very professional department where nothing like that is a rampant thing. It is not like an everyday thing, which is fortunate. But unfortunately, being a police officer, we are countered by often things that we do, reactions to people that are trying to hurt somebody or somebody or something else. In that stance, we don't have a choice. Sometimes it is what it is. We try to do it professionally and the best we can. But the first part he said, and that's the end quote, the first part he said was, well, thinking about it, I would take the word police out of it. And I agree with that 100%. It's not police brutality, because there are bad doctors, there's bad preachers, there is bad dental hygienists, there's bad everything. Any profession.
There was over 270,000 deaths to doctoral malfunction. That is the worst term I've ever used. Malpractice, and there's no riots about fixing the medical system, which there should. So yeah, like the thing is, in 2020, you had more of a chance to be struck by lightning than to be unarmed and black and killed by police. Like I think that kind of debunks the whole Black Lives Matter organization.
Let me pull something up real quick. I have it saved.
Like, I am fully with the idea of Black Lives Matter, but the people that are in it, most of them, like, all of them are terrible. Like, don't get me. I fucking
well, none of them are terrible people, because I love all humans. But like, yeah, I know what you mean.
But like, then there's those people that are like, oh, this dude killed another dude. He must be bad. His entire whatever he's with must be bad.
People are just straight up jumping to conclusions.
The thing is, it would take 40 years of police brutality to equal the amount of black people killed by other black people. It would take 40 years of police brutality to equal a year of the homicide rate from black on black crime.
Facts are a pesky thing that turn a poetic narrative into a harsh truth. Too bad others either don't wait for them or don't care for them.
Quote from Ben Shapiro. Facts do not care about your feelings.
Ben Shapiro.
I love Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
But here's the thing I was looking at back up, talking about what Nate was talking about. So there are an estimated 375 million annual police interactions with citizens in the U.S. In 2019, 999 ended in shooting fatalities by the police, which is 0.0003% of all police interactions. 14 of those were unarmed black people, which is 0.000004% of all interactions. One of those 14 unarmed black people was not attempting to resist arrest or evade arrest, which is 0.0000003% of all interactions with police in 2019. One person out of 375 million interactions with the police.
You have a higher chance to win the Powerball.
The facts don't lie, people.
Numbers don't lie. Exactly. Numbers don't lie.
And one is too many still, but deduct one from the black homicide rate.
Exactly.
Like, that's one from what, 7,600?
Yes.
It's stupid, something like that. Hold up, let's look at the black crime statistics.
Did that audio go through?
No, it cut out.
Okay, cool. An eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Killing other people doesn't make it right if it's for a certain cause.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But Here's a little quote. It's from an Instagram page called Police Post, and it's a great post. They post a lot of stuff to help people understand why officers do what they do. This one says, law enforcement use of force is not meant to be a fair fight. De-escalation is always the goal, but not always the answer.
Mm-hmm. There's also, so in total, there was 77,484 black people got killed or murdered in the United States. Wait, this isn't the one I wanted to pull up. Hold up.
Let's see. Can we find another Socrates quote?
Hold up.
Can't find any in my head. I'm not lucky like you guys. I don't have a computer on me. So
I'm back. Sorry.
Sorry for the awkward silence.
You're great.
I was trying to fill it in.
Oh, wow.
So,
But I failed.
All right, let's look at the 2019 statistics. So there was estimated. All right, so there was 11,060 arrests from for murder in the U.S. and non-elegant manslaughter. All right, 5,070 were white, 170 were American Indian, 150 were Asian. Guess how many were black?
Well, how many?
5,600.
Jesus fucking.
Black men create 6.5% of the U.S. population, yet they commit
Over 50%
over
of our violent
50%
crime.
of murders.
They commit. Yeah. So I'm gonna explain this logic. I've had conversations about this before.
Same with robbery.
Yep.
Same with. Let's see here.
Generally crimes.
Okay, so let me explain this because I have researched this specifically. So in the U.S., 6%, roughly 6% of the population is Black Americans, and they commit out of the 6% of our population, they commit over 50% of our violent crime,
Yes.
with about 20% of violent crime being committed by Caucasian American, and the rest of the percentage left by other races and ethnicities. So in theory, because black people come in contact with the police more often than white people because they commit more crime, in theory, they have a higher chance of being shot and killed by police. Am I correct?
Yes.
What? Black
Okay, well,
people?
get this.
What?
And-
No. All right. Hold up. I would like to follow up on that. White people are disproportionately killed by the police, and I'm not saying that's a problem because I honestly do not care. There was 55 unarmed murders of white people in the U.S. in 2020, yet black people encounter police more often. So technically, white people are killed more by police disproportionately. So, and the Black Lives Matter thing is all about police brutality, but they're advocating for free college for, yeah, that's about it.
But, yeah.
Got it.
So as I was saying, theoretically, there should be more police on black shootings. But when you look at statistics, and I believe it was 2019, let me get the numbers pulled up real quick so I don't get these completely wrong. Number of blacks killed by police in 2019.
2019 is where all the data is at, man.
Okay, in 2019, it was 292 black civilians shot and killed by police. Now we're going to look at the number of white people shot and killed by police.
Guessing like 240 something.
No, it is a lot more than that.
A lot more?
It's a lot more.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
There was 242 black people shot, but in 2019, there was, okay, so statistics right next to each other. Black people, 242 black people shot and killed by police in 2019, whereas on the other side, with white people, there were 1,021 fatal police shootings of white people. But this makes no sense because remember my theory. In theory, more black people come in contact with police, which means more black people should get shot and killed by police. So why is there nearly 4 times the amount of white people shot and killed by police than there are?
I can justify that because white people are arrested more than black people. So technically you're right, but I can see what the other side is coming from. There are more arrests of white people. So that number kind of makes sense, but it doesn't justify the Black Lives Matter argument.
I completely support equal rights.
Equal rights, not equal outcome. Yes.
I despise the fact that there are people out there being hated on, being tortured sometimes because they are born with something that they cannot change. And
Yes.
the fact that some people go to such lengths of bathing in bleach. Have you seen that? That
Yes,
girl
I
bathing
have.
in bleach? Yeah.
I have not.
To make her skin white. And it just sickens me because that's toxic
Horrible.
into your body. And that's not even the only instance of something similar to that happening. Like, it's just so cruel, the fact that people still have this mentality of, oh, my race is better than your race because my race is different. Like,
Yes. 100%.
it's so
All right. Let's get to the part where we all disavow white supremacy real quick, so people don't think we're.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna explain this real quick. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a quote before we go into this last part. We already really our last section of this episode is racial prejudice, and we kind of just already transferred over into that. So I'm not gonna introduce anything like that. But here's a little quote. It's I can and will support the victims of bad cops, and I can and will support the good cops. It is possible to do both, and that's exactly how I feel.
100%.
So
The term ACAB is horrible to men and women who have served to protect our country.
because so ACAB stands for all cops are bad, or if you want to use the other word, you can go ahead. I prefer not to. But back to my interview with my SRO, you're gonna sit here and tell me that all cops are bad, whereas while I'm talking to my school police officers, who was with our county police department before working with the schools, he was a sergeant. He was there for 26 years. I'm going to see if I can find this quote real quick. He says, going into working with the schools, I wanted to mentor kids onto the right path. I wanted to get them going where they would be successful in life because I care about them. That's his exact words. You want to sit here and tell me that's a bad guy? He just said that he wants to mentor kids onto the right path so they're successful because he cares about them. And this is also on audio recording that I will have out after I publish this project, but I what's the word I'm looking for? I questioned what he meant, like when he was talking about kids. I was like, what do you mean specific types of kids? And he goes, no, all kids all together, black, white, male, female. Age doesn't matter. Okay, if you're somebody, I care about you. I'm going to protect anybody, no matter who they are, what they've done, or what they might do in the future. I'm here for their protection. Nothing that they say identify as is going to alter the way I think about them. And so I was like, yeah, he's definitely a bad cop because he's just said that. And I'm just bringing that up with people who say all cops are bad. I'm like, well, I just had this conversation on audio recording with a police officer, and this is exactly what he said. And you can tell me that's a bad guy, but
Can we extend this podcast like 5 or 10 minutes? Because I just want to get to one last topic.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Here, let me say something real. Okay, how do I put this? Okay, saying that all cops are bad is, from my point of view, equivalent to saying, oh, all blacks cause crime. Like, no, that's obviously not true. Like, there's a good portion of the American population that are African American that are just normal civilians. They go on with their day-to-day life. Hell, we had a president that was African American. Like, there are plenty of good African Americans, so you cannot say that there aren't any good police officers.
What was I going to say before you started?
Rudely interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
No. You did not interrupt me. I was actually waiting because we kind of cut you off in the last part. You can't apply the actions of what Zach said, one officer, because one person was completely unarmed and doing nothing wrong and killed. You can't apply the actions of one officer to how many officers are there? Hundreds of thousands of them. So it's like saying, if you think Donald Trump is bad, therefore all men are bad, or Donald Trump is racist, therefore all white people are racist. Which I believe in none of those statements, but you get the point.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to end that segment and go on to the last?
Last thing
segment?
I'm gonna say is not all blacks are criminals. Okay, not all whites are racist. Not all cops are
Yes.
bad. Ignorance comes in all colors, y'all. I just want you guys to understand that.
For real. Yeah.
And I say that laughing because literally no one understands that. This
For
past
real.
year and a half that we've gone through this stuff, it's hilariously stupid to me that people are so ignorant and closed-minded. I sound like I might be closed-minded. I only support the police, but I'm telling you, I understand police brutality exists, okay? I do my research. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I bring up all these statistics to back up what I'm saying. But I'm not closed-minded. I walk into every situation. I walked into George Floyd, Jacob Blake, Breonna Taylor, all those situations doing my research. I did that open-minded so I could really find out, hey, is that justified? Is that unjustified? Should that have happened? I walk into stuff that way on purpose. I don't want to walk in there and be that one kid that's, oh, that happened and that's how it's going to be just because I support the police. That's not how you do.
All right. So last statement in this segment. Cops, before you pull someone over, call LeBron James and make sure it's okay. And make sure it's okay.
Yeah, we got to call LeBron James because if we don't, we're next.
Yeah, for real.
Call Obama.
Yeah.
Call Obama. What is Obama going to do?
He's
all right. So
you couldn't kill this man.
Yes, Obama and his wife did for the 8 years they were in office.
Not red states, not blue states, the United States. Sorry.
All Obama and his wife did while they were in office for 8 years was put healthy snacks in school vending machines.
You're so right. All right. Let's move into the last segment. The personal segment is gender inequality.
Gender equality.
Gender inequality and equality. All right.
Okay,
so,
look.
I would like to
equal white. I can't even speak English. Equal rights, equal fights.
Equal rights, equal. I'm gonna beat your ass if you touch me. All right.
Like, okay,
let's just make that clear.
I'm gonna pull a Ben Shapiro in here and say you can't change simple biology and say, oh, I want to be a girl now.
Yes. 100%. I love when SJWs like to back their arguments with biology. No, biology is you are female. You cannot identify as a male. All of Caitlyn Jenner's chromosomes, besides some of his sperm cells, are male. I quote that from Ben Shapiro. so I don't end up like Joe Biden.
Anyways, I'm just gonna say this, Nate. I have a question for you.
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 14.
36.
Well, why aren't you 60?
I know this part too. Because I'm biologically 14.
Well, why aren't you 60
I saw this video too. Why? Because I can't. Because I'm not 60.
Then what makes you think you can be a girl?
Man, my mind says it.
But it goes the same way. Your age is biologically set just like your gender is. So why aren't you 60?
Yes, exactly. And then people like to say gender and sex are disconnected.
No, they're not.
If gender and sex were disconnected, there would be no genders and there would be no sexes. All right, if gender and sex were disconnected, there would be more than two sexes. Like, there's a reason genitals refer to sex, because genitals have the same prefix that gender does. Anyone ever thought of that?
It's not that hard to see what gender you are. It's called look inside your pants or your shirt. And if you're a girl, you have some stuff in your shirt. If you're a boy, you have something in your pants. And I'm just saying, biologically, if you want to get those chopped off and sewn on somewhere else to become a different gender, by all means, mess your body up. But it's not gonna change. Oh, I moved where I pee. That makes me a girl. No, it doesn't. You're still a boy. All you're doing is growing your hair long and straightening it. And
All
then
right, so let's talk about actual gender equality and inequality. So let's talk about the pay gap real quick, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. Yes, population wise and median wage wise, men get paid more, but that doesn't take into account of hours worked, education, field. Women are more likely to go into STEM fields. Men are more likely to go into manufacturing jobs. Men are more likely to ask for raises and to work overtime. And that's not dissing women, because women are more nurturing to kids and they want to get home early, and I want to get home early too.
we're not sexist. I just want to point that out. We're not sexist.
We can come off as sexist, and this is a podcast, so some of this is for comedic purposes.
Yeah, some stuff that we say is either for comedic purposes. We're either talking comedically, or we're talking about controversial topics. So stuff like this is going to be said. So I'm just going to point this out. Just because you think it's sexist doesn't mean it's sexist. And before we move on from that, I'm gonna point something out. My dad said this. He goes, I have seen the definition of racism or sexism change over the past 20 years. Back then, racism was discrimination against someone because of the color of their skin. Nowadays, it's, that makes me mad, and you two are different colors, so that's racist.
That's
basically
leftist
what they changed.
ideology.
It's the same thing with sexism. They're like, oh, you're a guy and she's a girl, and you make me mad, so now you're sexist. That's how people are playing it off.
Leftist ideology right here. Oh, you disagree with me on economic policy? You're racist.
That's basically what people are doing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, fuck off, AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Fuck you. Sorry. Yeah, back to the...
Another thing before you continue.
Yes, go ahead.
We are by no means saying, "Oh, if you're gay, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, no, we're not homosexual or not. We're not homophobic. Excuse me.
And let's get to the real definition of homophobic. Yeah, no, we're homosexual. All right, so all right. Well, let's get to the real definition of homophobic. Mm-hmm. We're not scared of gay people, guys.
I'm gonna point this out. Like one of my best friends is gay, and I don't hate him. I love him.
Oh yeah, Yanni.
Yes, I love that guy. Like not in that way, but I love him. Like he's a great guy. I love hanging out with him. He's fun. But just because I'm not gay and that I wouldn't be gay and I'm not for it doesn't mean that I hate everyone who is. I can.
I'm for same-sex marriage. I'm 100% for that.
100.
I love Caitlyn Jenner. I think she's a great man.
You're going.
I love love. I really like it when people are happy and not angry. So
just shut the fuck up about it. Thank you.
Just
your wedding statement doesn't need to be about your sexual orientation.
Oh, something kind of similar to a wedding. So in 2021 so far, I think this actually isn't very relevant to a wedding. Anyways, baby the reveal parties. 4 people have died from them in 2021 from the past knowledge of mine. And 2 people have died from sharks in 2021. Literally, some guy got killed by someone shooting a cannon at them at a gender reveal party. At a fucking gender reveal party.
Yep.
What does this have to do with anything?
It doesn't.
It's kind of funny.
Like,
you're more likely to get killed at a gender reveal party than to get killed by
just remember, your chances of getting killed by a falling cow are slim, but never zero.
Yeah. Like,
chances of getting killed by a yo mama joke are slim, but never zero.
Just say, just uncover a cake. Blue or pink. It's as simple as that. You don't need to go so fucking big that you hire, flyers, people in airplanes to, spit the pink or blue gas. Not gas, smoke, my bad. It's dumb.
Oh, shit.
And anyways, back on the topic.
That was kind of funny. I like how Democrats are all for giving money to...
People really like to give other people's money away when they become Democratic.
Oh, yeah, so that...
I am once again asking for your financial support.
I am once again asking
for free college education. Fuck Bernie Sanders. Fuck AOC. All right.
Bernie Sanders is
Rich people.
my
you know
favorite
Bernie Sanders,
political
when he-
person to quote because I can do it pretty well.
Bernie Sanders is my favorite person in politics in general, just because I like to see his hair every day.
I hate his
Here's
politic
the
his
thing.
political
Rich people aren't
views.
greedy. You're greedy for wanting rich people's money.
Look,
Are you guys familiar with what's his name? He ran the 2008. What the fuck is his name?
Bloomberg?
No, fuck Bloomberg. Fuck that. What's his name? All right. So he ran that, and he's in the 1%. And
Wait, JFK? Was I right?
what?
JFK?
I-
In
John F.
2008?
Kennedy ran.
No.
John F. Kennedy ran the 2008 president or
I
economic crisis. You're correct.
That-
I mean this in
Um,
the most respectful way possible, but I don't think that's possible.
I mean this in the
not.
most respectful way process. You're a dumbass.
Oh, okay. Okay. Continue. I'm a dumbass.
All right, so he asked them how much out of every dollar I make, how much do I get to spend? And they were like, you get to spend like 80 cents out of every dollar. He gets to spend 30 cents of every dollar. They are taxing him 70%. 70%. And they should definitely be taxed at higher rates. But when you're saying they're greedy, you be a billionaire and then tell them that I want 70% of every paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I know we said we were gonna extend it and we did by let's see
6
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. I just one last topic. It's gonna be a short one.
Okay.
So, you two. I think I already asked you this, Zach.
Mhm.
What is your opinion on Spirit Airlines?
Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, you asked this just not on the episode. When they're not exploding, I'd say they're pretty nice.
What's Spirit
Spirit.
Airlines?
Do you do some quick research? Me and Zach will talk some. I fucking love the fact. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think to go to Las Vegas from Atlanta, riding on Spirit Airlines without any carry-on or anything like that, it just costs $40.
Yeah, well, that's that. You definitely get what you pay for with Spirit Airlines. Like as I said, when they're not exploding, they're pretty nice plane rides. And by that I mean you get treated like a piece of crap. The plane looks like it's going to explode any second, even if it doesn't.
You get turbulence problems when you're going 2 miles an hour.
Yes, down the runway you get turbulence when you're taxiing to the runway. That's the sad part. And who wants to ride in a bright yellow airplane?
Yeah, and me and my friend, we were making jokes about, it's just a test on the new Angry Birds game. Because, like, I like to imagine that there's
I forgot about that.
a giant slingshot.
I
just,
love
like,
Angry Birds.
Launching.
If you didn't play Angry Birds with your grandmother growing up, you didn't have a childhood.
Like,
Or got Lego sets in 2011 for Christmas.
yeah.
Closing remarks. Zach, go first.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, guys, thank you for coming on to this episode. I'm so sorry it's been like 3-ish months since we've made another one. We've been very busy,
Yeah,
and I'm just
late.
now getting back into this stuff. I enjoy making these, so I don't know why we stopped. I think it was me trying to wait for Logan, but he's still busy, so I decided to do what we're doing right now. Expect more of these episodes. I'm gonna try to do 2 a week at minimum, is what I'm gonna try to do. And if I don't deliver, don't be surprised because I'm doing this by myself until we get Logan back. But
I can be your co-host, Zach.
Call me on if you.
Yeah, we can definitely bring both of y'all back on and talk about other stuff because this was very fun. I have not done this in a while. If you guys do enjoy listening to these episodes, go ahead and hit subscribe. And I don't want to be that one guy, subscribe and like. No, you don't have to like. Just leave a subscribe.
No, Zach, you're gonna be that guy. Subscribe and like. Right? I just took an
Nate's
hour
that
away.
guy.
I gotta do my
like, and
engineering
share.
project now. All right?
But
Because I took time to get this podcast done. But I really don't care.
But yeah, just remember if you guys want to be in an episode, go down to the comments below where I have comment pinned with a link to a Google Classroom where you can join that. You can fill out our form to be in an episode, and then you can go look at the PowerPoint on how to get prepared to be in your episode. We'll get back to you after we receive your information and stuff like that. But that's how you can become a part of one of the episodes. So if you're interested in that, that's what you should do. I think that's all I have to say. Anybody else have to say anything?
Can I have my closing remarks?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I had fun coming on. Let's next time I come on, let's not talk everything political. Let's just have some fun discussions.
Yeah, I agree. And my ending remark, spirit, less money, more go.
All right. One last remark from me. You better like or subscribe, or I'll dox you and come to your house and kill you. Yeah, man. Anything else? And I can talk to Zachary about doxing because he knows how to.
One last remark.
Sending porn magazines to catfishes. Goddamn, Zach.
Hey, don't mess with Army Boy.
Don't mess with Army Boy.
My email is 200-422-876-4287 at
hotmail.com.
You can go visit my website,
like,
equal rights equal. I'ma fuck you up if you touch me. Dot onion.
I think this is the most fun I've ever had making an episode.
Yeah, because I'm funny.
Because I'm
No, I'm not.
Oh,
no,
gosh.
fuck you, Nathan. You are dumb and stupid.
Brody, speak for yourself.
Don't even. Right now, man.
Brody,
Okay.
go to the bathroom after we finish recording and look in a mirror and then say that again.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna plug my website in. Equal rights equal. I'ma fuck you up if you touch me. Onion. We sell we sell women. We sell men. We sell all races. Geez, I'm gonna get backlash if anyone watches this.
It's all roasted babies.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.